little bit. Joy? Ah, that's better. So we need a sturdy chair for today's practice. And I'm sitting on a folded towel. You can omit that if you like. This is for balance, so if you have great balance, you don't need it, but we're going to use it for half moon today. So I recommend a chair just because it's safer. So we're going to wait just a couple of minutes. Start at 12:15. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina. If this is your first time joining us for this practice, welcome. My name's Robin Bruckman. There's no need to push yourself within this practice. This is a very slow, mindful practice. We pay attention to our breath. Make sure that you stay within your own comfort level. Nothing should be painful. Nothing should feel stressful. There's no need to push. You'll find that as we hold the poses, it will create some opening in your body. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Find a comfortable seated position. If this is comfortable for you, that's fine. You have a chair. If you prefer to sit in the chair, that's fine too. And close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And begin to ground through your seat bones. Find your breath. Allow your hips to soften. Knees are soft. Allow the upper body to be tall. Shoulders are relaxed. Finding comfort in whatever seat you have chosen. Let your belly be soft so your breath is easy. Just allowing yourself to come into the present moment, appreciating this time that you've set aside for yourself, for self-care. The goal of today's practice, as it is each time, is that we feel better when we get up off our mat than we did coming to the mat. Open your eyes, interlace your fingers, palms away, arms overhead, grounding through both seat bones, and begin to stretch from side to side. So you need to make sure you ground that opposite side seat bone. It wants to jump up in the air. So this action of elongating the outside of the body, we're going to come back to that a fair amount this practice. Today is the spring full moon, the Paschal moon, it's Passover, Easter is coming up. Each full moon is the opportunity for new growth, for new openings. This particular full moon is the full moon of spring, newness of all things, reawakening from the long, cold winter. And come back to neutral, release your hands, interlace your fingers behind you, palms away from the body, collarbones long, shoulder blades together in the back, looking upward, arching the back slightly, pushing the chin out, opening the heart center. Release the hands. Simple twist to the right. Put the left hand on the right leg, right hand behind you. So a simple twist. So the twist originates inside your pelvis, comes up through the low back, through the rib cage, and is completed by the time it reaches the neck. The neck is not included in the twist. Your nose stays in front of your sternum. With each inhale, the spine gets taller. And with each exhale, maybe a little bit more twist. Inhale, the spine gets taller. Exhale, maybe a little bit more twist. Inhale, up. Exhale, turn. And inhale, back to center. Switch your hands out. One side's always easier. Inhale, the spine gets longer. Exhale, maybe a little bit more twist. Inhale, taller. Exhale, twist. And you don't want to be forcing this. So our arms are in a position of leverage. So we could force this twist, and we don't want to do that. Just allow the twist to evolve as it wants to. There's no need to push. Inhale, back to center. All right, so now we begin a seated crescent moon. So the right hand out by your side, left arm up overhead. So just stretching one side. And you're looking up underneath that left arm. So it should be pretty much of a side bend. So the right side is compressing a little bit and the left side is opening. That left shoulder is opening. Palm faces down. Grounding that left seat bone. There's truly no need to push this because we're going to revisit this action a number of times today. And press up carefully, switch hands. Stretching as far as you wish. No need to push. We're going to revisit this action, so there's no need for this to be your biggest, baddest side bend. Really grounding that right seat bone, opening the heart center on the right side, supporting the heart center on the left side. And inhale back to center, place your hands on your knees and just notice how you feel. These are very simple openings that it's really easy to repeat. And it's amazing how these simple openings can make a big difference. All right, so now we're going to come to standing, and I'm going to move my pad off of the mat. I don't need it right now. And for safekeeping, I'm going to put it on the chair because my cat will rearrange it properly. So I have my mat turned to the side. If you wish to, that's fine. And if you want to keep it in the standard position, that's fine too. I'm going to have to move you, Joy. I have to move you a little bit. Thank you. So feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Shoulder blades down the back. We're going to do, so I'm a little bit wider. So we're going to do a moon salutation. Now there are a lot of different ways to do a sun salutation. There are a lot of different ways to do a moon salutation also. So we're going to have several variations here. So hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up, looking up. And you're going to swoop your hands down in front of you, cross your arm and hands down in front, and swooping back up. And we're going to repeat that. So swooping down. So I'm crossing the other way each time. Inhale up, exhale fold, swooping, coming up, crossing the other way. And you find one way feels wonderful and the other way feels a little weird, and that's fine. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, stay up, hands back to heart center. Now we're going to do it a little bit asymmetrically. So we're going to go to one side and then the other. So inhale up, exhale, arms to the right, swooping down. Inhale up, this time to the left. Exhale down, swooping. Inhale up, exhale down, swooping. Inhale up, exhale down, and up, and down, and up, and down. One more time, up, down to the right, and up, and down to the left. And come back to heart center, and notice how you feel. Let's bring the feet back together. All right, now we're going to continue that swooping motion, but we're going to include a visitation to chair pose as we do it. So we're going to swoop up and bend the knees, and come up and straighten the knees. Swoop up, chair pose, and come back down. So arms up, knees bend, arms down, knees straight. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down, stay standing. Now we're going to look at chair pose a little bit differently this time, and I'm going to go to the side just so you can see. So this time we're going to be going to the side, one side and then the other. Inhale up and go to the side. Inhale up and other side. Inhale up to the right. Inhale up to the left. Inhale up to the right. Inhale up to the left. Inhale up and hands to heart center. All right, now we're going to play a little bit with cat and cow in a chair pose. So I'm going to bring my sweater down. This is what it looks like. So I come to chair pose with my hands on my thighs. So this will be the cow pose, and then this is cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Knees stay bent. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, back arches. Exhale, back rounds. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And straighten the knees and come up. So just notice how you feel. Now I'm going to come back straight. Feet are just about hip width apart. Bring the hand, I'm going to come back to the center of the camera. Elbows together, hands together. Inhale out to the side. Exhale, coming back. Inhale out. Exhale back. Inhale out. Exhale back. And now we add chair pose. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, come up. Hands to heart center. Release the hands and notice how you feel. So wiggle around a little bit. Now we're going to play with crescent moon from standing. And there are a couple ways to do this. This is how we're going to do it today. It's just right hand down, left arm up overhead, looking up underneath that left arm. See, we did this pose in sitting. Here it is in standing. So you allow the pelvis to go in the direction of the up hand, but it stays straight towards the front. And come back to center. Other side. Looking up underneath that right arm. Right palm faces down. Allowing the pelvis to go off to the right. And come up. Going to the right, pelvis goes to the left. Crescent moon. And come up to the left. And come up. Wiggle around. Notice how you feel. Okay, so I promised we wanted the chair. We're going to look at half moon pose. And I've got the chair. This is a sturdy chair, okay? Make sure that all 4 feet are solid. So I'm going to do half moon over to my left. So I want my feet pretty wide. And I want to be about 2 feet away from the chair. So now I'm going to turn that left foot out. Right foot turns in, and I come into triangle pose. So the pelvis goes to the right, and that leads my left hand down, and I bend that left knee, and I creep up over to that chair. So here I am in half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And I know the phone doesn't allow my whole body to show, but there you go. Half moon pose. Finding your balance, finding your steadiness. You're flying. And to come out, bend that front knee, look down. Back foot grounds, straighten both legs. Step your feet together. Now I'm going to move the chair over to the other side. So I want my leading leg to be about 1.5 to 2 feet from the chair. Back foot is away. Hands to the pelvic rim. Folding that hip. The whole pelvis goes to the back. Bending that front leg. Reaching for the chair. And I'm going to go down on my elbow for this side, because I need a little bit more help balance. I've got the chair for balance, so that's good. So ideally that my left arm would be up in the air, but I'm not going to do that because I'll fall over. That's why we have this nice sturdy chair. Okay, so balance isn't really the issue. There's still some balance involved even though I'm holding on. To come out, bend that front leg, ground the back leg, and up you come. Half moon pose. Wiggle your feet together, and notice how you feel. Half moon is a really fun pose, and oftentimes the first time people do it, they're like, oh, I can't do that. And then once you do it, you realize, oh, actually, I can do it, and it's really fun. So it's so much fun, we're going to do it again. I'll bring my chair over to my left. Left foot points towards the chair, right foot points 3/4 front. Hands on the hip hinge. Folding the hips back towards the back leg. Bend that front knee. Reach for the chair. Back leg flies up. Ardha Chandrasana. Ardha means half. Chandra is moon. Asana is pose. Ardha Chandrasana. Flying. And to come out, bend that front knee, ground the back foot, and up you come. Switching the chair back to the other side. So I want my right foot between 18 inches and 2 feet away from that chair. Back foot points forward about 30 degrees. Folding that front hip hinge to the side. And bend that knee. Reach for the chair. Try not to land on the cat. And you open to the front. There we go. Top arm is up, or I have mine down for balance. So my gaze is out into the horizon. And to come out, bend that front leg. Reach for the floor, straighten the front knee, come back to center, and feet come together. Ardha Chandrasana. All right, so I'm going to move the chair out of the way. Keep my pad handy. I want that in a little bit. Although it's probably going to get rearranged if I put it down, but there you go. Come back to standing, and now we do half sun salutations. So hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Namaskarasana. Again, inhale up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Namaskarasana. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let your hands release and notice how you feel. All right, so now we come down to the mat. I'm going to put my pad down. We won't need it very long. I'm going to come to kneeling, a high kneel. I'm going to come a little more centered to the camera. So a high kneel, right leg forward. So we just wait here for a second while that left quadricep begins to release. And then you can walk that front leg forward and begin to release the psoas, which is a much deeper muscle. It's in the fourth order of muscles, so it's really deep, close to the skeleton. Long, skinny guy. It's probably what's talking to you right now. Really deep, crosses the hip hinge, originates on the spine just under the rib cage, is connected to the diaphragm, so it's involved in your breathing too. Crosses the hip hinge and inserts on the femur. Psoas is a major postural muscle, and if it's too tight, which is often the case, it can lead to back problems. It leads to an overarched back and too much mobility in the low back area, which is not supposed to be there. Most of that mobility should be in the hip. If the psoas is tight, it limits the hip mobility. And then come back up. You're in the way. Switch the legs. So first we wait here. And notice that one side is always easier. That means one side is always harder. So first we have to release the quadricep, which is the big outer muscle. We can't get to the psoas if the quadricep is tight. So we have to wait for a little bit for the quadricep to begin to release. Quadricep is Latin and it means forehead. So this muscle has 4 points of origin on the pelvis, and it inserts on the femur pretty low down by your knee. And then creep that leg forward, come forward, and now we get into the psoas. Psoas is a long, skinny guy that's really close to the skeleton. And there it is. Did you notice? So you can get to the psoas in this position with this front leg stabilizing the pelvis. If you just try to open the hip hinge without stabilizing the pelvis, then the tip of the pelvis just comes forward and the psoas isn't released. So notice that as we stay in this pose for a little while, maybe there's a little bit more release to be had. I'm noticing a difference now than when I came into the pose. And it may not be visible on the camera, but I can feel the difference that there's an more opening in the front of the pelvis. I'm sorry, was I not petting you? And then come back to both knees down. You're in the way, sweetheart. Okay, so here we are in a high kneel. Shins are parallel to each other, and now we return to that crescent moon feel. So left arm up and over, pelvis goes a little bit to the left, gazing up underneath that left arm. And notice that this is the third variation that we've done this particular pose. We did it seated, we did it standing, and here we are doing it in high kneel. But it's the same opening for that whole left side, yes? And then come back up. Right arm up and over. And release, come back to neutral. And now we come down onto your back. So I'm going to remove this pad. Come down onto your back. Knees stay bent. Feet are close to the pelvis. I hope I show on the camera. Let's see if hope that works. Okay, palms face down, close to the body. Inhale, press up into bridge pose. And you'd like to have even pressure or even work happening on the front of your thigh and your buttock and the back of your thigh. Breath stays easy. Knees are parallel. And come back down, not all the way down, just barely not touching, and then press back up. Really activating the upper arm to support the upper body. And come down, but not all the way, not all the way, not all the way. Just barely, 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 and then press back up. And release down, but not all the way, not all the way, not all the way, not all the way, and then press back up. And this time we do come all the way down, fold the knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your knees, rock from side to side, releasing that low back. Doesn't that feel nice? And release your feet to the mat, still bend the knees, palms face down, and you're going to cross your left leg over your right knee, flexing the foot to protect your knee, and bring the whole assembly up. Thread your hands inside that hole and either hold the shin or the back of the thigh. You can rock from side to side if that feels good to you. Eye of the needle, Sutrandrasana. This is really nice to reset the sacrum, help equalize the two sides of the pelvis. Obviously not one side only, but we're going to do the other side too. And it just helps keep your pelvis healthy. And then release your hands, let everything come back down to the mat. Wiggle your hips around a little bit. And then knees straight up. Right ankle onto the left knee. Bring the whole assembly up. Thread through the hole. Flex your feet to protect your knees. Rocking side to side if that feels good to you. Noticing that one side is always easier. That means one side is always harder. And notice the flexibility that you have in your pelvis. Your pelvis consists of three separate pieces. The sacrum, which is actually part of the spine, and the two wings of the pelvis. And although functionally it operates pretty much as one piece, there are cartilaginous and ligamentous joints that allow the three pieces of your pelvis to move a little bit. And as we wiggle from side to side, you may be able to feel the three pieces of your pelvis being a little bit more mobile. That's a good thing. And then release your hands, let both knees come back down. Hands a little bit away from your body. Feet are a little wider than hip width at this point. Allow both legs to fall to the right, looking to the left. Duryodhasana. We'll call it windshield wiper. That's not the translation, but that's what we'll call it. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, they fall to the left. Both shoulders are flat on the floor if that works for you. Inhale up. Exhale, knees fall to the right, looking to the left. Both shoulders stay on the floor. Inhale up, knees fall to the left, looking to the right. Notice if it's a little easier this time around. We're going to do a couple more rounds of this. And notice that your body adapts. And as your body becomes more familiar and accustomed to this feel, you can get a little bit more release. Inhale up. Exhale, knees fall to the right, looking to the left. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale up. And now you're going to pull both knees into your chest, wrap your hands around your knees, and rock from side to side if that feels good to you. And again, noticing the mobility that is available in your pelvis. And you can also notice the mobility in your rib cage. Feel your ribs moving separately from each other. Feel your thoracic spine vertebrae moving separately from each other. So your whole back is fully supported in this pose. So the whole back can really release into this. If you're feeling tired or sore, this is a great pose to just sort of allow your body to reset. And now you're going to come to neutral, arms out to the side. Knees point up towards the ceiling, shins are parallel to the floor. And this is going to be a fairly small action. Just allowing your knees to roll a little to the right. Your head looks straight up. And then a little to the left. Head, shoulders, back, stay put. Just rocking a little bit from side to side. And again, noticing the mobility of your pelvis. Noticing the support of your rib cage. And I've got a little bit of help here. Somebody's helping me. It's always good to have a pattern for yoga. And if you want to explore going over a little farther, that's fine. I'm not looking for this to be a real strenuous move. I want this to feel more restorative. And then return to center, and you can let your legs be long. I'm going to sit up. You can stay lying down and start to prepare for Shavasana. So find a comfortable reclined position. Pull each shoulder blade underneath your body so your palms face up. Legs are relaxed, feet fall slightly outward. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Allow your breath to be in a normal rhythm. Eyes rest in the back of the socket. Your brain is quiet in the bottom of the skull. Facial features are soft. Breath is easy. Tongue rests in the bottom of your mouth. Jaw slightly parted. Back of the neck is long and wide. Throat is open. Feel your shoulder blades flat on the floor. Collarbones are long. Feel your rib cage move on the floor with your breath. The sternum rises and falls with your breath. Belly is soft. Allow your organs to rest towards your back body. Lower back is long and wide. Feel your sacrum flat on the floor. Allow the wings of your pelvis to open. Hips are soft. Thighs are heavy. Feet are relaxed. And return to the sensation of your breath. Belly rises and falls with the breath. Feel your arms heavy on the floor. Hands are relaxed. The breath is easy. Notice any areas of your body that have more opening or freedom. Notice how your whole body feels as a result of your practice today. Allow yourself to be fully supported by the floor. Allowing yourself to be heavy and soft. Belly rises with the inhale, falls with the exhale. Belly rises and falls. Breath is easy. All your body is soft. Allow yourself to fully surrender to gravity. You're completely supported, completely safe. Enjoy the sensations of your body. Feel the releases that you've created today. And remember the ease of these movements. Allow your body to retain that ease as you return to the rest of your afternoon. And now take a deeper breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the mat. Gently roll to your right side and rest there. With the strength of your arms, press yourself up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. I honor the place within you where the entire universe exists. I honor the place within you of peace, of joy, of light, and of love. I honor the place within you where, if you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there can be only one of us. Namaste. Rub your palms together to generate warmth. Place your palms over your closed eyes. Open your eyes into the darkness and return your hands to heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I'm so glad you came. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope the rest of your day is amazing. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina, blue sky. Perfect day. Things are blooming, the bees are buzzing. It's a great spring day. And may your day be completely amazing. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Let me know how you feel after your practice. Joyful says hi too. Thank you so much.